Hi, I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life, The King of Comics, and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli or on Instagram at Tom_Scioli.
Follow me on Instagram at cinema_tombs.
So, Matt, they announced the Academy Awards, and we're all about that. We do our Academy Awards simulcast every year. We do the recallies. And so it seems like a good time for us to maybe go through the nominees, the announced nominees. Do what again? This is like the 2023 version of Siskel and Ebert. That's one of the lenses through which I view the Total Recall show.
Love it.
And so they used to do a thing, if we could pick them, where they go through the
Yes.
Academy Award nominees and say like, okay, here's our picks.
Ooh, yeah. I'm right up for that.
So let's do it.
Let's do it. So we've got our Best Picture nominees.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
First is All Quiet on the Western Front.
Okay, I saw that pop up a lot. I know they've made, many All's Quiet on the Western Front. I didn't know that, there was a new one.
I didn't actually know that movie came out till today. Actually, 15 minutes before the episode film.
Yeah.
So, and I couldn't tell you who's in it either or where it's streaming at. So,
Okay.
if you made it and you put like a year or 2 years of your life into it,
it didn't register for us.
It didn't register.
Like, yeah, I mean, maybe like I'm curious to check it out. I'd imagine it would be some kind of reinvention of it. It's this well-worn tale. I mean, you could just do like a straight up World War I kind of movie, but I'm guessing it's got some new wrinkles to it.
Yeah. So hopefully, I'm gonna try to see it before the awards.
Yeah.
Show.
Maybe that could be an episode. All's Quiet on the Western Front.
Front.
Maybe what we'll do. This episode can be a jumping off point where we will watch every nominated movie. We'll watch, and we'll do an episode on each nominated movie.
That's perfect. That one, chalk that up. That's in the queue.
Okay, so
I'm gonna watch that.
So we'll do that one first. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Next up, Best Picture nominee 2023, Avatar: The Way of Water.
Okay, so we did see that one. We did do an episode on it. Okay.
Yeah, check it out if you haven't. It's in the feed.
Yeah.
James Cameron Action Fest, second movie in his Avatar series.
Yeah.
Gorgeous 3D, great
Now,
performances.
how's this for him for best? How many? I know Titanic. Did he win Best Picture for Titanic?
Yeah, that one. I think he that was. You know what? That was the one where he was on stage and he's like, "I'm the king of the world."
Oh, I'm king of the world. Yeah, and they thought people didn't get that he was just quoting his movie. They thought he was like,
"What an asshole!"
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the king of
getting high on his own supply.
They're like, he's getting high on, he's huffing his own farts.
Yeah, so okay, but I wonder, has he had other, he seems like, he's been working at a high level for such a long time.
Yeah, I think Avatar 1 might have been nominated for Best Picture,
Okay.
maybe. But having the hard facts isn't.
Yeah, that's not our
not
specialty.
Our specialty.
We're all opinion, no, we're all sizzle, no steak.
But I think, what I'd like to imagine, I think Sigourney Weaver was nominated for an Oscar for Aliens, maybe.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
And he's got some technical awards. But Titanic was his big.
I know he's one of those guys like Tron, where he's such an innovator that sometimes it's oh, we can't nominate him for technical achievement because he used computers. That's cheating.
Cheating. He's a cheater. Yeah. It's what an achievement. It's still it looks still visceral, even though he's using all this high tech stuff.
Yeah, it's a movie on another planet where 90% of the cast are clones, mutants, aliens, people projected into other people's body, but it still has a heartbeat. It's a very human and humanity and emotions and connection are at the center of it. Even with all that stuff.
And I definitely don't want to completely reveal the Recalli Awards, but somebody might be getting a nomination for best crab-like submersibles,
Yeah.
or best submarines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and maybe we'll have Jim on the show if we can.
I think we might have him booked
to go through
the Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay, do you know anything about that movie?
I did watch it. It's on HBO. It's Martin McDonagh.
Okay.
He did a couple other movies, but I got hit on the head with an iron ray before this.
Okay.
So can't recall those. But it has Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, I think.
Okay.
And there are two friends who break off a friendship.
Okay.
And it's like a dark like comedy.
Okay, so we'll watch that. We'll put that
it's
on
a
our
good
list.
one.
Okay. What else do we?
We got
What were you gonna say?
I recommend it.
Okay.
Great performances. Next up, we've got Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
Elvis. Okay, I did see that. So far I've seen two of these movies. That's pretty good for the Oscars.
You're doing great.
Yeah,
That's a
I
great
feel
word.
qualified to vote since I've seen two at least.
I think I heard that the Total Recall show does have a ballot this year.
Yeah, right. So we qualify for foreign press, and we can vote in the Golden Globes
I think we have that
because we have Pittsburgh accent.
we have that offshore the Total Recall island like off the Cayman Islands.
Elvis was the first Baz Luhrmann movie I liked. I was kind of a little standoffish about it at first because Baz Luhrmann movies drive me up a wall. Like, they are so douchey, and the hairs stand up on my arms. Like, it's just, it's like so embarrassing. And like, the more I like get a reference or like know it, like the more I hate it. They drive me, like, I didn't like the Romeo and Juliet, like that, the
I
first
like that
one.
one.
Oh, I didn't like. Oh, it was so douchey. And then I didn't, I didn't like Moulin Rouge. It had
I've never seen that.
Had
one.
like all my favorite songs and stuff, and I hated it. I fucking hated it. Like, I'm just not a fan. And so I was like, this Elvis thing looks good, but I'm so not a fan. Like, I don't know. And then, I did see it.
I remember getting choked up in the trailer.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun with it. Baz Luhrmann's excesses and stuff. Maybe because I'm not as invested in Elvis, or I don't know Elvis as well. Maybe that's why I was able to kind of groove to it a little more.
He's I don't really know much about Elvis either. I do know that he was eating that giant banana sandwich on the Crutter.
On the Crutter, yeah, when he died.
The lead, I can't remember his name, that played Elvis. He's nominated for Best Actor, and he was one of the Manson folks in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, you know what? I heard that. Yeah, he was in Once Upon, and I realized he was Tex, right? Okay, yeah. So he was like the leader of the little gang that's looking for Sharon Tate's house.
Yeah. So that's where we saw him before.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, all right. Wow, what a change. What a amazing jump. Yeah.
He made the jump to leading man.
Yeah, yeah, and that was in that Tarantino interview where they were like, "Oh, did you notice that Elvis hears about the death of Sharon Tate? And it's the same actor. Do you think there's some fourth wall kind of thing going on there?" And Quentin was like, "Well, you spoiled it for me, so I haven't seen the movie, but I guess we'll never know now because you fucked it up, mate. You spoiled it for me, mate, so I guess that's one for the ages that we'll just never know the answer to, mate." That's like, groovy.
He's like, in Australia, he's like, "A dingo ate my baby." For Elvis, the Recallies, I think Tom Hanks is going to get nominated for Best Fat Suit. I think.
Right, yeah, Best Fat
for
Suit.
For Colonel Tom Parker.
The Thinner Award.
The Thinner Award.
Going back to the Stephen King's Thinner.
He's like, "Thinner."
Yeah.
I curse you, Colonel Tom Parker. Best Picture 2023 nominee, The Fabelmans.
The Fabelmans, okay, another one we saw. Yeah, all the one, like, I can endorse every one that I've seen that's on this list so far.
Love it, and you know what? If it would win Best Picture, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah,
I could. Great work.
Well, that's what we're gonna do after you're done reading them off. We're gonna pick. We're each gonna pick a winner.
Wow! Dude, I can't wait. Next up, Tar.
Okay, Tar. Yeah.
By Todd Field.
Okay.
We've seen him before in Eyes Wide Shut. He plays Nick Nightingale, the piano player that tips off Tom Cruise.
Okay.
He's the director and writer.
That's a pretty obscure character in
Eyes Wide Shut.
In Eyes Wide Shut, yeah.
And this is his third Oscar-y movie. He did In the Bedroom, and I think In the Bedroom, and Little Children.
Okay.
And that one, each of those had some Academy Award nominations. Jackie Earle Haley's in them. Sissy Spacek. So this one, we just talked about King of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
We've got Cate Blanchett as the lead.
Right.
In this,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Who plays the titular
Plays
Tar.
Tar.
At first, I thought it was a documentary about like roofers or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Like a roofing documentary, but it's a crew of roofers.
Yeah.
But it's not. So I think we're gonna like that. We also got Top Gun Maverick Best Picture.
Okay.
I mean, we did an episode. Definitely check out our Top Gun Maverick episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another one Tarantino was talking about where he's like, how do you do Top Gun without Tony Scott? How do you do it without Tony Scott? And that Tom Cruise told him, we finally cracked it. We figured out a way to do it. We got a great script. So,
it looks like a Tony Scott film.
Yeah.
What a tribute.
Yeah.
And then we've got Triangle of Sadness. You know what? If you put a gun to my head and forced me to explain anything about that film, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so you've seen it.
I've not seen anything about it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay,
so that's
we're
on
doing
the list.
pretty good. So I have 4 that I've seen. You have 5.
Yeah, and then Women Talking.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about that one. The director was on Mark Maron.
Sarah Polley.
Yeah.
Last time she has a pretty good filmography, which I feel I haven't seen them. I should watch her. She has quite a extensive filmography. I've seen her on screen. She was in the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Okay.
She was like the lead in that movie.
Okay.
So pretty scary one. We have to watch that during October.
Yeah. Yeah. Put that on the list.
But we also have Everything, Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I've been wanting to see that. Heard good things about it. I just never managed to go see it, like when it was in the theater, and then kind of waiting for it to be on a streaming service that I have. There was like some plot point that got spoiled for me on social media, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. So it's just been unspoiled.
This is the film that I hear folks out in the world saying that that's their favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, I want to check that one out.
Or it's also when I miss the toilet. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Matt Zeoli story. What's your winner?
Best Picture 2023. You heard it here first.
We'll take turns going first. So you can go first because that's the pressure's on when you're the first one to go. But
Best Picture 2023 is Top Gun Maverick.
You know what? That's mine too. I feel the need for speed. There. I mean, lot of great ones on there, but when I'm just thinking about those, that's the one where I kind of get a big smile on my face and I kind of sit a little higher in my seat. Again, they all of them are great. And all the other ones might even be better movies. I don't know, but it's I just get this happy feeling when I think about that.
Dude, I start crying at multiple points too, and and then I'll be watching. I'm like, what a fucking movie!
So
what a fucking picture.
So fun. You know what it is? It's like what I wanted Firefox to be.
Oh yeah.
When you see the trailer for Firefox as a kid, and then you see the movie, and it's just so boring. It's just so boring, and it's this is what you wanted it to be. Kind of flying around, cool, super cool mission.
Oh yeah, when he's in that ship at the beginning, that's a mini Firefox. It's
mini Firefox, yeah. So no, great. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. Congratulations to all the nominees because they're all great. But yeah, so the early recall, the Total Recall show Oscar goes
to Top Gun Maverick for Best Picture. Best Lead Actor, we've got Austin Butler from Elvis.
Yeah. He was good as Tex. Now I'm remembering back, now that I kind of know him, and instead of just me seeing Tex in the movie, it's oh yeah, he was good as Tex.
Yeah, great performance. He always stands out. He's I'm here to do the devil's business.
Yeah, he was really good, and he was kind of like a Charles Manson proxy. He kind of has a little bit of the Manson vibe. He's a younger, handsomer version of Manson, kind of somebody who is obviously enthralled by Manson, wants to be like Manson, but is probably closer to what Manson was trying to like kind of pretend to be.
Yeah, like and he's like real lanky too, and like wily.
It seemed like that role was kind of written for Adam Driver like 5 or 6 years ago.
Dude, that's
but it's
perfect.
Like he's like he's like
the
new Adam Driver. Yeah.
That's so amazing. You know what? Adam Driver needs to get into a Tarantino movie. Wouldn't that be sick?
I mean everybody needs to. Yeah.
Tom Cruise is due.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Him and P.T. Anderson kind of have like this like micro, not rivalry, but like they're like symbiotic kind of thing. And like P.T. Anderson worked with Burt Reynolds, then he was trying to get him, and then he's like, I got Tom Cruise, like I want to get Tom Cruise, like.
Yeah.
Next up, Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, like I don't know anything about that movie, but I saw him on like the Golden Globes and stuff. It was kind of nice to see him because like, like I remember him in The Batman.
Oh yeah,
as
great.
The Penguin. And I knew he was in like a prosthetic, but I thought that that's kind of what Colin Farrell looks like now. You know, I thought that okay, it's been a few years since In Bruges and Minority Report. I guess this is what he looks like now, more or less. You know, with maybe like a little bit of a prosthetic nose or something. But it was good to see. Oh no, he still looks like himself.
Yeah, you know? Movie star looks.
Yeah.
Felt like he's gone the Colonel Tom Parker route.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was glad to see like what he really looks like. I was like, because I was like, oh wow, the Grim Reaper's coming. You know.
I can hear Colin Farrell's arteries hardening through the screen.
Because I'm so accustomed to that where like you haven't seen somebody for a couple years and then you see them and you're like
triple take.
You're like, can't believe it. And that has been like a recurring dream that I've been having for years, where it's like I see somebody that I haven't seen in a couple years and I can't believe how old they've gotten. And then like I wake up in the morning and I'm like, wait a second. Oh, thank God that was just a dream. But I'm like, wait a second. It's kind of not a dream because I'll bet if I did see that person, they probably don't look so. They don't really look like themselves anymore. So yeah, like it, you know.
I look like Donovan after I drinks from the bad grill.
You chose unwisely, man. You've been drinking too much from the bad grail the past few years.
Oh, jeez.
Look for one made of wood. He was a carpenter.
Whatever.
Look for a carpenter's cup. He's like, I should know. I'm a carpenter too.
You know what that scene in Last Crusade reminded me of? It reminded me of the scene in Return to Oz, where they're in like a treasure room, and in this like vast array of treasure, some of the treasures are citizens of the Emerald City, citizens of the Land of Oz who've been turned into treasures, and so they have to guess which one's which and kind of like touch it and then say the magic word to bring them back to life. And they only get so many guesses, and if they get too many wrong, then the whole thing, then they become another treasure in the room.
That's a great call. You know what we got to do? We'll eventually do a Return to Oz episode.
Yes, please. Yeah.
I can't wait. Next up, we've got Brendan Fraser in The Whale.
That's the one everybody's been talking about.
Everybody's been talking about
the big comeback.
Comeback for Brendan Fraser. He's got his Oscar nom. We love him. I'm a Brendan Fraser backer.
I'm a huge fan of The Mummy, the first Mummy.
Love The Mummy. I can't wait for a Mummy episode.
Yeah.
In the second one, I think in Mummy 2 in the trailer, where I was like, he's like, what are we, some kind of mummy magnet? George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Blast from the Past. Like Encino Man.
Yeah. Buddy. We'll have to do a Pauly Shore episode. Pauly-palooza.
Tom, I can't fucking wait. Oh my God.
Son-in-law.
Oh God, yes. Biodome.
Yeah, Biodome. You know what one I loved? I loved his Desert Storm movie.
In the Army Now. With
yeah.
Andy Dick.
Yeah. I saw that in the theater twice. Fuck
yes. Dude, I cannot wait. The Weasel. Yeah. Hell yeah.
The Weasel, buddy.
Jury Duty.
Yeah, I think we're due. Yeah, Jury Duty was good too. I think we're due for Pauly Shore nostalgia.
Shit.
How did his career end though? Because it felt like he was like the guy, and he was in like one comedy after another, and they like I don't remember there being a bad one.
No, like he just literally dropped off the face of the earth. Like he didn't tail off.
Yeah, he just disappeared. What was his what was his name in Son-in-Law?
Shit.
Because I just remember the part where he's like driving the tractor and then he like carves his name in like the cornfields with but I forget what the name. He is like he always has like a goofy name and like he carved Wheeze or something.
Paul Mescal from After Sun.
Okay.
No clue.
Yeah.
But we wish you well, Paul.
Yeah,
We're gonna check you out.
Check out the movie.
Bill Nye from Living. I think we've seen him in some stuff.
I recognize the name, not Bill Nye the Science Guy, but
Bill Nye the Science Guy got his first Oscar nomination.
but Bill Nye, like I know I've heard the name. I'm trying to.
I think Beekman from Beekman's
World
got a
Yeah.
nomination too. Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh, okay, yeah. He's the guy who was like the rock star in Love Actually. Yeah, he was a rock star in Love Actually. So yeah, he was playing like the Keith Richards role. So yeah, okay, I know who that is.
So here's our picks. Who do you got for lead actor? And I think I know. I think we're gonna be on the same page.
I mean, I gotta go with Austin Butler in Elvis. Yeah, great performance. You know, when I first saw like, you know, the thumbnail for the Elvis movie, like, you know, on my screen, you know, like, you know, announcing the movie or whatever, and I saw him striking the Elvis pose, the Elvis face. I started cracking up because I'm like, this movie looks so stupid, so ridiculous. He looks like, you know, like an AI Elvis, like one of those AI art generators. You typed in like,
funniest
you
thing
know,
I've heard in my
Elvis,
life.
and that's what came at. Like I was like, this you can't be real. This is so ridiculous. Like this movie has got to be horrible. But no, he was like. You know, you kind of buy it pretty, and he is great as Elvis. You just got to see him in motion. Like seeing a still of him looks ridiculous, but when you see him in it's kind of like the same thing with like superhero movies. Like ever since like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, anytime I would see like a suit or early CGI of like some superhero costume or whatever, the early Hulk or whatever. I'd always be like, man, that looks like shit. That looks like fucking garbage. And then the movie would come out and it would be great. It would work perfectly. It would look great. The movie would be great. So I learned to like stop judging these superhero movies based on like how I think the suit looks when I first see it. And it's kind of the same thing. Like I saw the Elvis and I'm like, that movie looks like shit. And then like you see the movie and it's like, he's great.
Hell
so,
yeah.
But yeah, he's my pick, and so he's your pick too.
He's my pick too.
Okay, so he gets the Total Recall. Austin Butler, congratulations.
Congrats. Best lead actress. First up, Cate Blanchett for Tar.
Tar, okay.
Like steak tartare for Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, serving steak tartare.
They're like,
Oscar will be having steak tartare this year.
They're like, you're fired. You're fired.
Shit. We're trying to come up with what they're going to be saying on the red carpet, you know.
Yeah, like
or on Entertainment Tonight. If that show's even still on.
Next up, Ana de Armas from Blonde.
Okay.
I've seen she was in like the new James Bond, a couple other flicks like she might have been in the, Knives Out.
Okay.
I don't know Blonde. It might be it's a biopic maybe.
Oh, you know what? I think that's the Marilyn Monroe biopic.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Like
check that out. You're gonna dye your hair blonde for that one.
You'll see with
your hair. Your Billy Idol look.
It'll give me an excuse to wear a single dangling earring. Yeah. You know what? Oh my god, I might win the award, the annual Total Recallies Award for best single dangling earring. Hell yeah.
We're stacking the deck.
We've got Andrea Riseborough. To Leslie is the film.
Yeah, she was on Marc Maron too. That was like
wow.
That's because he's in that movie too. Marc Maron's in
that
movie
hell yeah.
Too. And it was an interesting interview.
Exciting. I'm gonna watch this. These are giving me some advanced excitement for these flicks.
Yeah, Howard Stern was hyping up that movie too because the woman who played his wife in Howard Stern's biopic, her husband was the director.
Oh wow!
Of that movie, so
we've got Michelle Williams from The Fabelmans.
Yeah.
What a great performance. Tour de force. Yeah,
it's like I just thinking back to our episode and stuff. I just feel so bad for for Steven Spielberg's mom.
Oh, yeah.
That, like her getting the family's dirty laundry aired. In the movie.
She got Fabelman.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, Mom, I promise I'll never make a movie with you in it. About moms are like adding this like the Fabelmans clause to their last will and testament across the board. Like you promise to never make a movie about me.
We got Michelle Yeoh.
Okay.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Great. We love Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
I think I got my pick.
Okay. Yeah. You go first.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my heart. Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
It's so funny, like we're on the same wavelength because I'm thinking Michelle Yeoh too because I haven't seen the movie. I've seen like minimal trailers of it, but it's just what's in my head. She's so good, in this movie that I'm imagining Everything Everywhere All at Once to be. So I'm giving it to her too.
Yep.
We keep lining up like it is. We should like write them down just to kind of prove that it's not just like, oh, you said it, so I'm going to say it too. Like that was what was in my head, and I thought I was going to shock you because I thought you were going to say Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans because she was great in that. I thought you were going to say that, and then I was going to be like, Matt, I'm going to shock you by saying it's in a movie I haven't even seen.
Guess what my other one
Michelle
was?
Yeoh.
It was Cate Blanchett for Tar.
Okay,
that's the biggest competition. It's either Michelle Yeoh or Cate Blanchett, but I'm going to go Michelle Yeoh.
Okay, me too. Yeah.
We got Best Supporting Actors here. Brendan Gleeson, Banshees of Inisherin. I think I'm saying that correctly. We got Brian Tyree Henry from Causeway.
Okay.
Gotta make sure to check that out. I'm gonna watch that. We got guy we mentioned in the theater. We were talking about Judd Hirsch from The Fabelmans. We were talking about that performance.
Yeah, I noticed there's another I'm not going to spoil it, but there's somebody else who we also mentioned in the theater. So yeah.
We mentioned Judd Hirsch. We're like Oscar alert. It's like Barry Keoghan from the Banshees of Inisherin.
Barry Williams
from
the
Brady Bunch. Holy shit! He like throws everybody else off stage.
If Barry Williams, like Tarantino needs to put Barry Williams in his next movie.
Like yesterday.
Because if Barry Williams gets an Oscar, he will explode.
Yeah,
he will be so delighted and like even if he like watches this episode and hears us just talking about like his eyes will roll in the back of his head like that would be very, very nice to see Barry Williams get an Oscar.
Somebody tell Barry Williams that we want Quentin Tarantino to cast in this next film.
Yes, or somebody play an evil prank on Barry Williams and convince him that he was nominated for an Oscar. Even though as far as I know, he hasn't been in a movie this year.
On the red carpet, we're watching it. He pulls up. He's driving the limo, but you can see through the window. He crawls into the back and climbs out the back door.
Man, Tarantino putting Barry.
Put his ass in a movie.
Yeah.
He will explode. It'll be like The Rapture, like his clothes drop.
Right, exactly. Like it's all he's ever wanted in his life, and it's like the one thing that he's probably given up on. He's probably given up on it.
And it's like Barry Williams, you're nominated for Best Actor for a new Tarantino movie, and guess what else? Best Original Song.
Yeah,
he's like creeps in his tuxedo.
Well, you know what? You talk about the Rapture, and he just disappears. But like he would be that whole other level of Rapture, where like his clothes go with them.
He's gone, and the clothes go too. But it's like. It's like you're gonna receive your award, present with Jamie Foxx, and then you get to perform your song. He's like, I have to change my fucking tuxedo or whatever.
Yeah, you see the stain develop. What movie was that? There was a movie, like a comedy movie, where like you saw a stain like show up on somebody's pants. What movie was that?
I can't.
Maybe it was like a Borat or something. It might have been, it might have been like the Ali G movie. Like the Ali G movie he's got his pants on. He's wearing like long pants, and then his penis falls out of the bottom of his long pants, and he tucks it back in.
That's what happens with Barry Williams. It's like he's like they're like, yeah, you've been nominated for an Oscar, and you get to present, and you get to perform your original song.
But if anybody remembers what that movie is, where somebody
Yeah.
has like a stain appear in their
It appears on the front. He turns around and there's a brown stain appears. He comes and shits his pants at the same time.
Okay, so who else?
We've got Ke Huy Quan. Speaking of Temple of Doom, short round.
Yeah, like that. I mean, my wife was real excited about that. He's gonna be in the next Indiana Jones. And everybody's excited. But yeah, apparently he's in like a movie, and he got a Golden Globe and got an Oscar nomination. I haven't. Oh, he's in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm just so excited about this. Mm-hmm. Like, we love Short Round.
I'm so excited about that movie that I'm waiting for it to be, more or less free before I see it. Like, I'm so excited. I'm not willing to shell out like $6 or whatever it is to watch it.
Because having the movie be free streaming will even enhance. You want it to be the best experience possible.
Mm-hmm. If they brought it back to the theater, I'd go see it. I just. You know how it is. I just kind of like missed my.
Yeah, we missed it.
I was busy working on my big comic that hopefully be able to announce soon. But it was, I had to be very choosy about because I only had enough time to maybe see like a movie here and there, and so that one something else beat that out.
We'll be announcing that at some point.
I got to go with Judd Hirsch with the Fabelmans. Like we both called it. At the theater, it's like this is an Oscar performance right here, so great, and it's like it's one of those great things where it's like he is in the movie for this very narrow period of time and is like unforgettable, steals the show, and I mean, who doesn't love Judd Hirsch too? Like going all the way back to Taxi, and then Dear John,
we love Dear John.
Independence Day, like
Area 51.
Yeah, Judd Hirsch is just great. So I'm going with Judd Hirsch all the way.
Now, Judd Hirsch is like my Kate Blanchett from the last category. I think I've got to go with Ke Huy Quan for is gonna get the award.
That's a good one. I'm glad we didn't, because I thought for sure we were both gonna say Judd
I was
Hirsch.
gonna say Judd Hirsch.
I'm glad we're not. It's not just right down the line. Yeah,
but so very close by a slim margin.
That is good. Like I am looking forward to seeing him in it, but it's just like Judd Hirsch.
What a performance!
Yeah, so great. Yeah.
We got Best Supporting Actress now, new category. First up, Angela Bassett for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay. And that was one we called.
We called that in the theater.
This is Oscar stuff.
What a performance! Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And we saw it.
Yeah, and just sort of carrying the weight of what's going on in the movie, in the fictional story, but then carrying the weight of like the real life story too in the scene.
Gut wrenching. Yeah. Great job, Angela. We've got Hong Chow from The Whale.
Okay.
Haven't seen The Whale yet.
Yeah.
Gotta check that out.
I mean, Darren Aronofsky, he's great. So
Carrie Condon, Banshees of Inisherin. I think you're gonna. That's a solid flick.
I'm glad it's got your recommendation. That might be the first of these
kind of
Oscar
sad
movies to check out.
It's a star comedy, and we got Jamie Lee Curtis, JLC, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's the spoiler. That's the spoiler. I told you that there was something in Everything Everywhere All at Once that got spoiled for me, and then I forgot and it got unspoiled. But that was it. It was hearing that she was in the movie because she got nominated for an Oscar. And I was like, oh shit, I would have liked to have been surprised when I saw Jamie Lee Curtis show up. But whatever, it's at least I don't know her role. If she plays, her character from Halloween or something,
Laurie Strode.
She plays Laurie, yeah. But no, that was the spoiler I was thinking. I was thinking, oh shit, I wish I didn't know that. I wish I would have been surprised when I saw Jamie Lee Curtis. So yeah.
Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So we've got another.
That sucks when two people in the same movie are in competition, which is why. As artists, we don't really believe in any of this competition. It's not a competition. Everybody's doing their thing, and we can enjoy all these movies and all these performances. Nobody has to be, it's an artificial thing. But again,
if you're an actor, you'd be nice to get
you want your Oscar.
You want to get an Oscar. So I know who I'm picking for this one. I'm gonna go with Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, that's me too. Because same thing with the Judd Hirsch. It's like I knew it in the moment. I was so blown away by the performance that it's like, how can I pick something else? How can I pick something that I haven't even seen yet?
Yeah.
I think Jamie Lee Curtis is probably going to be great in that movie. But yeah, Angela Bassett all the way. What a performance.
First Oscar nominee from a Marvel film?
No. Maybe first nominee for that because Black Panther, the first Black Panther was the first time it got a Marvel film got nominated for Best Picture, but maybe this is the first
Best
supporting
actress, or even an actor is getting nominated.
Yeah, so I don't know. So that
this could be.
Okay.
Do you want to do Best Director then?
Best Director.
We've got Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin.
Okay.
We've got a dual director here. It's for Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
It's like the next Coen Brothers.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's always interests me when there's dual directors.
It is interesting, but it makes sense because film is so collaborative. There's so much fucking work to do. So if you can have two people who are kind of like in sync with each other, so yeah, it usually is like siblings or something that are doing it. And yeah, like I'm a little jealous. Like it would be nice to have somebody like a sibling or somebody that like you're directing movies with. How great would that be?
Awesome. You know? Yeah, that makes sense because like when you're an actor, you'd be like, who am I listening to or whatever.
Well, also with movies, sometimes like there's an amazing second unit guy.
Oh heck yeah!
And like the director gets the credit. Like there's some second unit guy who's doing amazing stuff. But it's like they're kind of, they get credited, of course, like in the credits. But
nobody
like the world doesn't know. It's like, oh man, that scene in whatever, that was so. But it was like, oh, that was the second unit.
And that always amazed me too. Like when the second unit stuff is getting shot, like your second AD is getting the same like similar performance from the director. It's like how are you like comparing notes? That's always fascinating and like interesting to me.
So like a lot of like auteur theory is kind of just this like arbitrary, like artificial thing. Like it's a collaborative medium. It's not,
That's what I like about movies.
Yeah.
That like I like collaborating. Mm-hmm. It's fun to like you're on like a team working towards like
we're collaborating.
We're collaborating right here. Yeah. It's so awesome. Our man Spielberg, the Fabelmans.
Okay.
We've got Todd Field for Tar. Mm-hmm. Nick Nightingale himself from Fidelio. He's like tipping off Tom Cruise. He's like Fidelio. We've got Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness.
Okay.
That's supposed to be like a black comedy, I think.
Okay.
I think Martin McDonagh did In Bruges.
Okay.
Because I think that's what he did.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
Yeah, Colin Farrell working with this guy. I think I know who I'm going to pick here.
Okay, so that's everybody. The winner is Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans.
That's who I had, number 3.
Okay, great movie. I think about it a lot, since we saw it. And the one aspect of it that I keep thinking of, I mean, there's so many great things going on in there, and but like the one thing there's a lot of things I keep thinking about John Ford,
Oh
in there
my God, I think about that all the time.
But the one thing is like this, like how important this like Circus Train movie was to this greatest show on earth was to him, and then he's making his home movies and of his train set and all this stuff, and then you think about all his movies where like some kind of like the Circus Train in Last Crusade, all this kind of stuff, and it's like wow, like
the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, the Boy Scouts. Like it is interesting having this like decoder ring for like his whole body of work.
Yeah. We still have to do the where we get the filmmaking merit badge rules, or the rules written by Spielberg.
You know what else I'm thinking? Like everybody's got a Fabelmans in them. Like maybe you won't be able to pull it off the way Spielberg pulled it off, but we all have like what's your big family secret or what's your family story? And it's like for me it's like, well, I could do a comic that's like my Fabelmans, where it's like here's the story of of my family, and you could maybe write a screenplay or a song or something.
Yeah, like everyone's got their favorite. Spielberg's
Yeah.
Fabelman, his Fabelmans.
Yeah, see, Spielberg's Fabelmans is the Fabelmans.
And I always thought too with the best. It's like it's interesting having like a separate best director Oscar. You feel
that was always interesting, and I know some directors are like kind of salty. Like I know Tarantino has very specific like ideas about like, you know, if he doesn't get the thing for this or that, you know, like over the other. So and I think like Best Picture, the director doesn't keep the Oscar.
I always thought that there was like a set amount of Oscars that people get, and like it's kind of like Super Bowl rings.
Oh,
like at
you
some
can,
point,
buy
like
one, yeah.
like they cut off who gets
it. Yeah. Well, that's like for you know, like I've been part of for the Eisners. Like the Eisners is like the Oscars for the Eisners is like the Oscars for comics, and I've been part of anthologies that have won Eisners, but that doesn't mean I get one of those Eisners. You know, it's like whoever the editor gets the Eisner. So
we dole out the Recallies.
Yes. This has been our Oscar nomination episode. Stay tuned for our Oscar, our Oscar simulcast and our Recallies coming soon.
And our coverage of the nominees for Best Picture.
We'll see you at the Oscars.
Let's do the Oscars. At the Recallies.
I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And you can follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli or on Instagram at Tom_Scioli.
Follow me on Instagram at cinema_tomb.
And check out my Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Tom Scioli, and you'll get access to the full archives and, you know, various comics that I'm working on as I upload them.
Follow the show on Instagram at total_recall_show.
And yeah, we'll see you at the Oscars.
We'll see you at the Oscars. We'll see you at the Recallies.
Yes, more important.